Some of the best things I found about Camas were just the group meals and everyone hanging out together, and the stuff that we saw and the stuff that we managed to experience together. Like we saw dolphins and we saw like a colony of seals one evening.
Building the barge, that was good. And we won, yes, that's what I loved. That was brilliant with us. I enjoyed it, everything.
I think probably the first thing I would say is that the Grassmarket and Edinburgh Uni week was, well, everyone was just so lovely, and that was definitely something that made it really special. Everyone came with such an open mind and with so much energy and kind of threw themselves into this week, so that was really kind of enjoyable for us as a staff team. But also it was the fact that you had these two kind of groups of people who live in the same city but might not normally meet, and then they did meet in this beautiful environment and got on so well and had so much fun together and had so many laughs together, and that was just a really amazing thing to see and be a part of.
For me, definitely the abseiling and the coasteering, because these are things I would never have had the opportunity to do in the city, or something I would never have even thought about doing. I'm sort of built for comfort, no speed, so I was struggling quite a bit with all the walking and the hiking, but having the opportunity to do those things was fantastic.
The company, the community working together, my favourite things was just being the quietness and being part of each other.
When we were looking out the ferry and there was dolphins, that was really nice. It's important to have these experiences because it removes you from your normal life for a week, just by no signal, but also because you have none of you don't have to live your daily life, you don't have to go shopping, none of these things, it's completely different, so the only thing that's constant is yourself.
It gives you the opportunity to take a step back from your normal life, whether whatever job you're doing or whatever you do in your daily life. There's going to be a lot of stress and worry, money worries, financial worries, things like that, and it just gives you the opportunity to take a step back from all that and not have to even think about it.
I think for me, being a student, I tend to get wrapped up in a bit of a student bubble during term time, and it's very easy to get totally wrapped up in your work and not spend any time reflecting about why you're doing what you're doing, and focusing on making friends. So for me, it was a great chance to get away from my work and spend time just connecting with other people and reflecting on my life, really.
Just help a lot of people to get things off their mind and when you're depressed.
I think for someone who's thinking about going to Camas, be they a student or a member of the Grassmarket Community Project, they should think about the benefits that it could bring as a chance to get to know other people from very different walks of life, as a chance for students to find out more about the life of people in Edinburgh who aren't connected to the university, which is often a rare thing for students who only ever see staff and other students of the university. As a week to take time out of a busy life and reflect on the things that really need to be reflected on, but you sometimes forget about when you're caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily business. And to have a fantastic week away with some lovely people.
Reflection, that was good. Playing games, candle, fire, got the log fire, having hot chocolate at night, hot water bottles.
I think it's its remoteness. In Camas you walk a mile to actually get there. It's really nice to see that this really remote place still provides you with everything you need.
I would say people that sort of find it hard to be around groups of people, if they're a wee bit shy or they've not got much self-confidence, that soon goes very, very quickly there, because you're with these people all day, you're sort of sleeping closely together and you're doing things together all day, all through the night. And it just, you don't have a chance to be shy, because everybody's just thoroughly enjoying themselves, and I never saw any complaining or anybody moaning about anybody else, because it's just a unique opportunity to just be with strangers for 1 week. At the end of that week, you're not strangers anymore.
I think it's incredibly important for the grass market and the chaplaincy to help support these sort of experiences, because there are individuals who wouldn't get to go or get to sort of have these kind of experiences, and this is not something that should just be dictated by money and just sort of how lucky you happen to be in certain parts of your life, because I think these are incredibly enriching weeks away for people, and it's just coming back, you can't explain it to people how wonderful it was. They sort of look at you, say, you know, you were living in a small shepherd's hut and it was cold. How was it such good fun? But you just, you know, only people who were there could sort of get it. It was incredible.
It's important to fund this sort of thing as it helps people and develops people into the community. How it's helped me in day-to-day life is communication, much better with other people now, confidence.
One of the most important things was that I know that I certainly had some misconceptions about people who'd grown up in different family situations, different backgrounds, and often coming from more challenging family backgrounds and situations. And it really helped me just to realise how ridiculous my preconceptions were, and it was nice to break down those barriers and just really get on with a completely different, lovely set of people and have a good time together. I was really glad that the chaplaincy had put me in touch with the people who could allow me to go on this trip, because it's made such a difference to me, breaking down my misconceptions, allowing me some time to reflect and to get to know these wonderful people. And I think I've made some friends for life, which is always a wonderful thing to have done. And yeah, as I said, I'm really grateful to the chaplaincy and to Greyfriars for making that possible and giving me this opportunity to meet up with people from the Grassmarket Community Project. And I hope to make those links continue in the longer term.
I'll never forget the looks on some of the faces of the Grassmarket Community Project members having gone abseiling down the side of a cliff when they thought, there's no way I can do this. And after they'd completed that experience, the looks on their faces as they said, oh, wait till I tell my children, or wait till I tell my grandchildren. I'll never forget that.
In terms of bringing Camas back to real life, it was initially quite difficult because it was very sort of, coming back felt very different and very loud and stressful and stuff, but it sort of helps you realise that the sort of what you enjoyed in Camas so well is not something you can only be found there. It's like the joy of community, it's the joy of conversation, it's the joy of people coming together and, you know, just being with each other and talking to each other and, you know, sharing in the human experience, if you will. But it's so it's found that I have to try and sort of access that, even if I'm stressed, even if I'm busy, to try and take a moment out and try and remember what that was like, and also with personal relationships, sort of you can find out and sort of start talking about what sort of matters when you have conversations with people. So I found that incredibly enlightening and useful in terms of bringing it back into my real life back in Edinburgh.
Not only does it provide just a really, really enjoyable experience for people and a really safe environment for people, which is so beneficial and kind of can be something really comforting in your own life. So even for me, you know, if I'm feeling down, I just think of Camas and remember the good times there, and that really cheers me up. So not only does it provide that, it also can really build really strong relationships between people, because it's such a remote environment, because there is such an acceptance of people being themselves. That basis for kind of relationships between people can really improve the work and kind of be such a good grounding for the work that's done in Grassmarket community and the chaplaincy at Edinburgh University. Between the two, it's a really good basis for that kind of work that goes on throughout the year. One of my strongest images and favourite moments from the week was on the last day. Everyone stood up and started cheering and clapping. And that moment of just kind of absolute sheer joy just spreading throughout the room and everyone expressing that joy and just laughing together, that was just such a beautiful moment.